day and welcome to another episode of Crooks in a Caravan. We've got a week's annual leave, so we are heading down to the Great Southern, and we have landed up at Tozers
Bush Camp.
Yeah. Which is about 20 k's outside of Denmark.
No, 20 k's outside of Bremer Bay.
We're going to go to Denmark later in the episode. Anyway, we're off to a flying start, as you can see.
So we left home yesterday, quite late in the day for us. Normally we're early morning leavers, but Mark needed to work, so it was probably 4:30, 5:45 by the time we left. We got probably 15 minutes down the road, realised we'd forgotten our pillows, and so we turned around, went back home, got our pillows, left again. So we ended up stopping at Quiddanning Inn.
Yep, which was a bit of a... We haven't got any plans. Well, we've got vague plans of where we're going, but we haven't got any plans where we were staying. So we were on the road. We were either going to head to Boddington, the free RV stop there, but we've heard things about Quiddanning Inn. So we thought, why not try that? Save us having to cook dinner.
Yeah, which worked out good for dinner. Very sort of old country pub, and very quiet. We did have a beer and a chicken palmy.
And a bottle of wine.
And then ordered a bottle of wine. Sat in the beer garden and drinking that. But about 7:30 she came out and said, anybody want any more drinks? Because if not, we're shutting the bar. So that wasn't done. 7:30 they shut up, but she told us we could just stay in the beer garden, which was nice. We sat there, drank our wine.
We sat there for about another hour till about 8:30, 8:45, listening to kookaburras like all around us.
Yeah.
It was a nice temperature. Yeah, it was good.
Then we went back to the van. Van was in the car park, basically, of the
We'll drop
of
some
the pub.
footage in as we go.
But yeah, it was free to camp there as long as you bought a drink and a feed, and ticked off the list. I don't think you'd want to go and stay there for a long weekend or anything, because there's not a lot else there.
No.
But for an overnight on the road, just to pull in, eat, sleep, move on, it was good.
And he had an interesting history as well, which I'll drop a picture in of the information board as well. So it was really good. It was like good experience. So
we are at Arthur River, and we've just pulled in for breakfast at the Wild Woolery. I think these are just some old buildings, and they do some crafty type stuff in them when they're open. But we're just going to have our breakfast in the van, little wander around and look at the historic buildings, see what they used to be, what they are now. It's the halfway point between Albany and Perth. So just a little stopping point when people were doing that big journey. It is a cute little cottage, isn't it? I don't know what the actual building was for the travellers, whether that was a accommodation or whether it was food or I don't know. I assume these were the stables. Were they travelling by horse?
Yeah, I guess so.
So I would think these were the stables. I think you tied your horse up there. This here was actually the post office, and the first postmistress was here in 1866. Prior to that, they didn't have anybody. They just transported the mail from Perth to Albany on foot, but it often took a long time and sometimes got lost. We have found the Horsepower Highway, never heard of it, just stumbled across it, and it seems to be some tractors. So we've just stopped at one to have a look. And now we've arrived at Tozers. We've got 3 nights here. First time here, gonna explore. We'll take you around. I'll show you a bit of this place. It's a pretty impressive setup actually.
Yeah.
Considering it's privately owned and what have you. Built it and opened it in 2018.
I think so. Yeah.
It's pretty quiet. It's been really busy over school holidays, but there's probably only about 6 people, 6 vans here. But anyway, we'll show you around and show you what we get up to. Yeah, and
for the rest of the week, we're going to try and climb Bluff Knoll one day. We're waiting for a cooler day. Maybe try that Granite SkyWalk, and then over to Denmark and explore around there.
Behind me you can see the estuary, and probably just across from there you can see the white sand of Bremer Bay beach. We've just drove on there. It's pretty hard packed, so if you're coming down this way and you want to drive along, looks like you can. Just a little store in Bremer Bay, a little bit of a fuel station. Other than that, not an awful lot here. But we are about to go and try and find the coffee van, and we've bought some Danish pastries from the shop. Gonna go and find a beach to sit on those. Beautiful day, a little bit of a breeze, but really lovely and gorgeous spot here. This is Native Dog Beach, popular surfing spot, but apparently you need a bit of skill. Doesn't look too bad out there. And called Native Dog Beach after the large population of dingoes that used to be here. Last dingo seen in the area was 1965, after they'd been extensively hunted because they were killing all the sheep. So no dingoes down here anymore. But beautiful white sand and beautiful blue water. Very much like Esperance, if you've been down to Esperance, and the sand has that squeaky feel too.
Just around the corner from Native Dog Beach is Tozers Beach. And now this one you can bring your car down onto, which we have done. It's amazing. Like, WA has so many amazing beaches, and this is just another one. I will throw the drone up at some point as well. Ocean behind me, incredible blue. It is quite cold, but it is. I think it's the Southern Ocean. I think it must be because we ran the Cape. Yeah, we've driven on, got the awning set up on the car. We're gonna sit and read our books. We have brought some lunch with us, but who knows? There's a brewery in Bremer, so that might be the choice for lunch. Anyway, we're just going to chill for a bit, and we'll see you later. It is a little bit breezy down here, so we've got the legs out on the awning, plus a few more than the usual straps. We've got a guy rope on as well. We are in Bremer Bay, and I've just come up to the lookout tower, which is on top of the hill near the windmill. I'm not sure how Maddie's going on the steps. There's the windmill behind me, and there's some pretty epic views. Good morning. This is our second morning at Tozers Bush Camp. Both mornings we've woken up so far, it's been pretty misty. Burns off really quickly, but it's quite damp this morning. Just swing round and show you the van. We put the awning away and the mat last night because we think we're going to head off this morning. We're going to head to Cheynes Beach. There has been a bushfire northeast of Albany, so it might mean some road closures, but we'll just see how we go. Bremer Bay was good, beautiful beaches, but we feel that we've done all we can in the short time we've been here, so we thought we'd head off and find somewhere new.
We left Tozers about an hour ago, 7 o'clock-ish I think this morning, and we hit the road closure. So it was actually sooner than we thought. We thought we'd get through a section of the South Coast Highway, but we haven't been able to due to the fires. So we followed the detours and we are now on a more minor road, which I thought was going to be unsealed, but so far it is sealed, which is good.
It's bendy.
Huh?
It's bendy.
It's bendy and hilly. That was quite a bend. We may need to be aware of those. We've seen quite a lot of kangaroos first thing this morning, so that was nice. And it's now unsealed, which is fine. So I think we've got about 40k of this, 45k of this, and hopefully then it takes us back onto the highway and we've bypassed the fire. Arrived at Cheynes Beach. We've been and booked a night in the caravan park, can't quite get in yet, but we've left the van there and we are heading down to the beach, hopefully going to throw the drone up. The early morning mist that we had this morning has now cleared and the sky is blue. It's beautiful actually.
It's really nice, it's quite warm. We survived the detours and diversions around the bushfire, so the big chunk of Southwest Highway that was closed.
It's not Southwest Highway.
Oh,
it's
Southwest Coastal.
No west in it, just South Coastal Highway.
Yep, we survived that and yeah, found our way here.
And actually just listening when we were just booking in, there was some people staying an extra night because I've not been able to get along that coast road, but actually the detour was fine.
Yeah, I did probably 20 minutes onto the journey, but yeah, it was fine.
Alright, so we'll show you Cheynes Beach. Talk about what's waterside oceanfront property. These have obviously been here years, but what a spot. A walk out to the rocky headland. I think we're going to come and try and fish off this a bit later today.
We are once again trying our hand at fishing. We've been here about half an hour. It's where we were this morning when we've got squid jigs on. It's quite windy, it's quite choppy, and I don't know if there's squid here. As Mandy pointed out, there isn't any ink on the rocks or anything around. Anyway, we'll keep trying. We'll let you know if we catch anything. See? Oh, looks like Mandy's on. Maybe not. Oh, bugger! We'd seen quite a lot of kangaroo poo here, and this fella's just hopped onto our side.
I think it's not a fella.
Or lady. Well, seems like he's going to join us for some afternoon tea. This is us, and that's a kangaroo. it just seems to be settling down for a feed, so maybe here a little while.
This is the camp kitchen at Cheynes Beach Caravan Park. So it has a couple of big roller doors, and they ask you just to put the roller doors down when you finish, so the birds and other animals do not get in. I'm guessing that means kangaroos too. But yeah, nicely done. Everything you'd need if you used a camp kitchen.
It's 8 o'clock on Monday morning, or 8:15 Monday morning. Normally we'd be at work by this time, and we are just heading now to the Porongurups. So we just had one night at Cheynes Beach. It's a really nice park. We were in the new area, so that was great, and everybody was really friendly, including the wildlife. So we are now heading to the Granite SkyWalk, so we're going to do that this morning, and then we'll be checking into the caravan park, and then tomorrow is the big mission, which will be hopefully climb Bluff Knoll.
Gotta get our walking legs on.
Yeah, we haven't done much exercise over the last few days, so it might be a bit of a shock, and it'll be good to stretch our legs. We have arrived at the Granite SkyWalk. Loads of parking here and bays for caravans, so we've still got the caravan on the car because we'll book in at Porongurup Caravan Park later. And now we're going to do the walk trail.
So yeah,
we're out of breath already.
Do the Castle Rock walk trail, which is 4 kilometres return, and then you just add this onto the end of it, which is the Skywalk, which is where you
climb up ladders.
A 7-metre ladder.
Yep.
We're going to do it.
We're good. We are. I think that's like a motivational, we're gonna do it.
Gonna do it. Hold us to account, everybody.
We tried this years and years ago when we were in Albany with the kids and the grandparents, actually, from the UK. I think we got somewhere along this trail and then the kids gave up.
No, actually only one kid gave up. The older child, who probably was about 10 at the time and had a complete another strop.
Yeah, Dad had to mark batch with her, and Mum tried to go up this ladder, but with the youngest. But
I did the walk. I didn't do the ladder.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll show you how we go. All right, it's just a steady climb at the moment. A few steps, just getting your heart racing and your blood pumping and your puff panting. It's a national park, so when you get here, if you're not already got a national parks pass, you have to pay a pay and display machine. We've still got our park pass valid, so we're using that.
Yeah, and if anybody doesn't know, if you live in WA and you're RAC members, so any of your insurance through RAC, you can get a discounted annual park pass. You buy it through RAC and it costs you $60 for the year.
This announcement brought to you by RAC, who don't support crooks in a caravan.
Nobody supports crooks in a caravan.
We're fully self-funded.
That would have been one big tree. Mark has a bit of a thing about trees in the wind falling on people and cars and killing them.
I even dreamt about it the other night. A tree fell on the caravan.
Yep.
Meant we couldn't go to Southern Stars for Easter.
That was his biggest worry. Yeah, you wouldn't have wanted to be on this path when that came down.
It was cut, wasn't it? Again, so. That's bigger than the other one, that one there. That's huge. Looking at this track, I can see why our 10-year-old daughter packed it in.
I know he's scared of falling trees, but he's happy to walk under this precariously balanced rock.
I'll take a photo of it.
Did you just grab hold of that, did you? Or?
Yeah, the handrails are there for a reason.
I know, but I can't reach that. think, Mark?
Yeah. Just get to that bit so that people can get in if they need to.
Shut the wind!
Man, you get to that bit so that these people can get past. Oh goodness. There we go, we did it. We're on top of the Granite SkyWalk. The views are spectacular. It's quite a cloudy day. That adds to the drama, I think. And you got up here.
Yeah, I was a drama for sure.
Alright. And this is the ladder down.
Don't look down, whatever you did it and it was awful.
Are you there? Right, what, 3, 2, 1. And now you're on the flat. Well done. How was that for you?
It's dreadful.
And then just do a Spider-Man. That's the Granite SkyWalk up there. I am so impressed with this person here who has got a major fear of heights, but wow, you did it. That's so cool.
I did have to get on the floor as soon as I got up there.
We've got that on video, don't worry. But it'll give us something to look back on and
Absolutely.
Remember it. Yeah, it's
so
amazing.
Glad I did it. Now I'm down, but
it's amazing. And like, wow, they put that up there is incredible as well.
yeah, the engineering of it just blows your brain.
Yeah. And yeah, views are spectacular. I heard the concept as well.
It is a Bluff Knoll day, and so we are just driving up Bluff Knoll Road to Bluff Knoll. So obviously you can't bring your van up here. I think there may have been a little bit of an area just as you came through the park entrance that you could maybe unhitch and leave your van. I don't think you'd want to bring it up here.
Behind me is Bluff Knoll, or Bular Meal in its indigenous name, and we are just about to set off on a, I think it's only 6.2 kilometre hike, but we're going all the way up there and we'll bring you along with us. There seems to be a little bit of a theme going on. I've only done 400 metres so far. It's the steps. We keep climbing on upwards, but you do wonder how we're going to climb up that sheer granite rock face.
If we're looking a bit tireder and a bit sweatier, that's because we are, but we are officially halfway. The views are just absolutely spectacular, which is good because it gives you a good reason to keep stopping.
We've made it over 2/3 of the way up now, so we've done just over 2 kilometres. We've got 1 left to do. We've climbed 436 metres so far. We're just stopping for a muesli bar. Those are the steps. We just keep coming up. It is constant steps. It's a slog. It's like being at the gym.
Not because of the gym, so I don't know how
No.
to know that.
Down there is the car park where we started off from. And then I don't know if this is going to do any justice to these views, but definitely going to make it, unless it gets a really steep scary bit or something, which it could be our only downfall. But
there is like, we did really carefully check which day we were coming up here. We actually switched around what our plans were for this whole holiday, really, to make sure that we got here on a day it wasn't too hot,
wasn't too windy,
wasn't going to be wet. Picked a day because it was meant to be the best weather, I think about 24 ish, and clear sky. You can see they do tell you at this point to check the weather.
Stop and check the weather.
And if there's clouds and what have you, if you're not prepared, don't continue.
Well, I think if you climb up in the mist and the clouds,
yeah,
it can be dangerous as well.
You can't see the footpath and what have you.
You have to say the last kilometre has probably seemed the easiest.
Yeah.
I don't know whether we were just pacing ourselves better, but we haven't had to stop and rest as much.
There hasn't been as many of those big man-made steps, though.
No.
It's been more like walk steps, and I think that's easier.
Yeah, so it has just generally been a little bit easier. We're just under an hour and a half up here, but we'll show you the view once we get to the very top.
So we are at the top of Bluff Knoll and enjoying the views, and just bumped into Nathan. Say hi, Nathan.
Hello, how are you?
So Nathan has watched a few of our videos on YouTube and recognised us, so just a shout out to him today. He's enjoying Bluff Knoll too.
Beautiful.
So we've got the perfect day up here, very little cloud, in fact not really any cloud at all, and the wind isn't too bad, so Mark's managed to get the drone up, and I'm sure he'll put a bit of footage in of whatever he's got. We did wait for some of the guys to put their drone up first and see how it flew, but theirs was okay, so we followed suit. Took us just over an hour and a half, 1 hour 35 to come up, including all of our stops and breaks, and there was plenty of those. I thought it would be really cold up here at the top because it started to get cold as we came around the last rim, but it actually isn't too bad. The sun is just beautiful. You feel like you could just hide behind a little rock and have a snooze.
It's amazing. So glad we did it. You do get snow up here. It's really the only place in WA that gets snow. Thankfully none to that. We are on our way down now. It's a bit tough on the old legs and knees. It was more of like quads on the way up and now glutes on the way down.
We are just about at the bottom, and this is the final hill to get back to the car park, which seems a bit cruel really, having just done all that. Coming down, yeah, really glad we had our sticks going up and coming down. Third point of contact, but also takes pressure off your knees a little bit. So if your knees are getting a bit older like our knees, highly recommend having something like that. But it's been awesome. We are now up to 2 hours 33, so it took us about an hour-ish to get down, I think, and an hour and a half to get up. So a really good walk.
We've been staying at the Porongurup Tourist Park. It's a older style caravan park, but really pretty, really peaceful. Quite a few empty sites. The ablutions are older but really clean and immaculate, and it's got a nice camp kitchen which I'll show you. I've got power, but it's all either bore water or down water into the through the taps by the vans, so we just elected to run off our tanks. They do have a freshwater tank if you want to fill your water bottles, but that's rainwater. Also has a dump point as well. It's pretty, it's nice, it's quiet. Ideal for the Granite SkyWalk and the Porongurups, and it's probably about 40 minutes to Bluff Knoll this morning. It's pretty, isn't it? It's nice.
Yeah.
This is right through to the camp kitchen area. There's a nice seating area out here. No fires at the moment.
So this is the upcycling area. Anything can be upcycled.
Even me. They've got some veggies as well. I've got a question. Just because anything can be upcycled, should it be upcycled? And this is us. No mats here. We did have one down initially, but then realised we read the rules. And weird mushroom power poles.
So we have just left Porongurup Tourist Park. We had a good couple of nights there, and we are now heading towards Denmark. So we were going to take it easy this morning and not leave too early because check-in's 12 o'clock, but I don't know, we'd left by 8 o'clock. So we've now stopped in Mount Barker, and
which is about 5 minutes up the road.
Yep, not far at all. Half an hour, I think, wasn't it?
No, maybe 10 minutes.
Okay.
It wasn't long.
Not far. And we're going to have a little wander through Mount Barker. Mount Barker is famous for one thing.
Mount Barker chicken.
So what are the essentials of a small town? A good coffee.
A good coffee.
And next stop,
Super IGA.
a super IGA.
In the next episode, we explore Denmark and the surrounding areas. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please drop us a comment below and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the road.